Hey everyone, it's TV dinner time. Kick your shoes off, get comfortable. Today we're finishing another show. We're
Yeah.
finishing the last four episodes of Shogun. The first episode we did was 1 through 3. Second episode was 4 through 6. I'm trying to remember numbers. In this episode, we're doing 7 through 10.
Yeah, we
So yeah,
chose like
we'll
an
get into
odd
it.
number of them because like we
Yeah,
thought there was gonna be like 8 episodes, right? And so we are gonna do like
yeah. Like when I
yeah,
pitched this to Jason, I was like, "Oh yeah, there's only 8 episodes. We'll be good. We can do 4 and 4."
yeah.
And then 2 episodes came out of nowhere, and I was like, "How are we gonna split up? Like I know math halfway decent, but how are we gonna split 10 episodes into this many episodes into
So we
recordings?"
we had a change of the plan midway. So
Yeah, and we had to blaze through 4 episodes.
yeah, and I think I'll kind of put it out there right away. It was not the ending that I was expecting. It was nice
Yes,
to see the game plan kind of lay out as to what's happening, but then you're
it was
almost
a
like,
Game of Thrones game plan. Like we called it, or you called it early on. Like it was the Game of Thrones game plan of like,
but
hey,
like
we have to end
later,
this with a bang.
yeah, Game of
Yeah, but much
Thrones,
later. Yeah.
like I don't know, like I feel like and granted this is a spoiler, when Mariko
Hmm. Yeah.
died, I feel like that should have ended it. Where it's like,
That
oh,
should have
like
been, yes.
the Ned
Now we
Stark
got to
dying,
wait.
yeah.
Yes. We got to wait like a year or 2 years for them to film the next season. And then we pick it up right. That would have been perfect. But the fact that they were like, hey, spoiler alert, she stood in front of a door, even though we told her not to. And explosion. And then we still have a whole nother episode. Because that happened at episode 9, right?
I don't know. I feel like it was 8 or something, and I was like, I
No,
guess
it was
it's like
episode 9.
9. Okay, that probably would have been a
Yeah.
good ending.
Yeah, because like episode 9, I think episode 9 would have been a great ending because there was action, there was fighting between people, explosion of Mariko dying. Like that would have been like, hey, cool. Episode 9, we're done. We'll see you in a year or two, and we'll pick it up from there.
Yeah, like that would have given the shot. Like even Patty was like shocked next to me. She was like, when we started the next episode, she was like,
Yeah,
she better be alive, or I don't know. Like we find out something, and
yeah.
then it's like goes through the process of like, you never get actual confirmation that she's dead. It's like, oh, they have to like do
Like he
this
shook her a couple
funeral and
times. Yeah,
everything. Yeah, it's like so you have like this like off chance that she may like somehow miraculously
yeah.
like wake up and be like, oh, like this like giant steel door fell on me, but I'm alive.
Like I thought they were gonna pull one of those. Like, oh no, she's fine. Look, 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 her finger moves. She's good. I thought they were gonna do that, and they did, and I was like, okay, cool.
But did you like? Do you think it was the right choice to kill her off?
No, like I would have liked to see her in season 2. I think it felt like they had to do that. It felt like that's something they were like, hey, we need to spice things up because we keep pitching, hey, there's going to be a war. The war is coming. The war is coming. We need to go out with a bang or like have something that's going to shock everyone. Because a lot
Mm.
of shows do that. They have like this shocker moment, and the good ones have the shocker moment then end, but a lot of them have a shocker moment and then they're like, hey, there's still like 3 more episodes. It's like, but the shocker
Yeah.
happened. I don't care what happens in these next couple of episodes. So yeah, I think they could have held off. They could have killed somebody else off.
Actually, I probably like thinking about it now. Like keep her because I think she was the best actor
She was the anchor.
out
Yeah.
of the whole thing. Like the
Hmm.
dude that plays
Tom Hardy got on my
Toranaga.
nerves.
Yeah, the budget Tom Hardy.
Yeah, got on my nerves, man.
But like you have like I think I don't know, I've never seen this lady that plays Mariko
Hmm.
anywhere else other than this, but
Yeah,
she was
she was
fantastic.
great.
I probably would have said like, hey, just kill the kid or something like, oh no, we don't have
Yeah.
a future emperor.
Like, we'll figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
then there could have been a bigger war. Like, hey, who's going to be the next emperor? That would have been cool as hell.
Yeah, yeah, you create that
But
power
hey, no,
vacuum
let's
that like
kill your anchor character. Like, what?
Yeah, and you build up the whole like relationship. I guess it's like that goes back to my point, like I think the last episode where it's like the one we recorded recently is that like they wanted to build that emotional connection with
Hmm.
her and then the budget Tom Hardy, and
Yeah,
then either one of them dies, and then you're like, oh man, that sucks. Like they were like really good,
yeah.
but
But
I
nobody would
guess
care if Budget Tom Hardy died,
I
though.
I don't think so either.
You'd
It's
be
like,
like, all right, cool,
yeah.
because it feels very Last Samurai.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
hey, we're trying to make him the pinnacle of this. It's like, nah, we
yeah.
want to see everyone else but this dude.
He's just some white dude inside of a Japanese
Yeah,
country or in a country that he's
that
not
knows
supposed
how
to be.
to, yeah, knows how to row boat. That's about it. Like,
But I guess like the only
come
thing
on.
that comes well from the death is that she gets an honorable death. And I think that was like what they were trying to do, where like the lady that hated her and stuff, like the emperor's
Yeah,
mom and stuff, was like, I don't want to give her like a good death. And so that she like still has to like be shamed. And you kind of got it with like her son. Like I didn't know. I totally forgot that she had a son and everything.
yeah, I did too,
And
actually.
so, so
That's
he was ready to
savage,
disown
though,
her.
that they have to slice their own stomachs open.
Yeah, I watched the whole video about it afterwards,
Really?
and yeah, I was like, was that
Ugh.
real? And yeah, they said they did it even after like World War II. That some people were doing
Oh,
it during World War II.
goodness.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that I was like for them to start one of the episodes like that, I was like, what the hell? And then
Okay,
just a headshot. It's like, oof.
that reminds me too is that because like I think what you're saying is the word is
Hmm.
seppuku, I think it, and it's like their ritualistic way of like ending themselves and stuff.
Yeah,
But not even themselves, because like you saw it where like there's that second person that's supposed to
yeah.
like
Like,
deal the
hey, if
death
I don't
blow.
do a good enough job, I need you.
Yeah. So, but when like Lord Toranaga is like faking sick, I think he was faking sick. He wasn't actually sick.
Yeah,
But then his like best friend ends up committing like seppuku and everything. And I was like, I don't think he actually planned for that, but he
yeah,
assumed he was gonna go very like 100%. Like he tested his friend's loyalty to a point that he had to watch him die. I think
yeah. Which is insane.
that sucks.
Like, I love my friends, but yeah, that's a limit I'm not going to. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and Patty was like, "Do you think he like thought about that?" Like, I was like, "I think he thought something was gonna happen, but I don't think he knew that he was gonna go that far."
Yes.
So it was like a shocker. Where it's like, "Oh crap!" Like I'm kind of like I'm in the plan, and it has to work out and stuff, and so it just needs to happen.
Is it bad that I wanted more consistent action? Because it always felt like each episode had like a pocket of action, and it was great, but it was just like a pocket or like a window of like, hey, now we're fighting, now things are happening, but now, hey, now we're going back to calm.
I don't know. I guess it kind of like goes into like the whole theme of like the Japanese
Hmm.
culture and stuff. Like there's that honor and loyalty and stuff. So it's very respectful. There's a lot of kind of like you maintain your space and stuff. Like you see it in the show. And
Yeah,
there's a lot of like rituals, not rituals but traditions and stuff. So I guess it does match sort of like the environment and the culture, where it's not like they're not 100% like dueling everybody. It's not the Seven Samurai like all
yeah.
the
So
time.
that's just the American in me that wants more action in this show.
Maybe, but also I think
I'll
like
take it.
shows about Europeans, like they were literally just fighting
They were
like each other all the time.
savage. Yeah,
So there was not like they had the royalty people, but like they were still like douchebags and stuff.
they were still
Like
wild. They were
these,
still doing some crazy stuff.
yeah. So I think the Japanese people, it's like they like it kind of matches the storyline. I think, but granted, it would have been nice to have a little bit more.
Yeah,
You
I
have
think
the
I wish they just would have played it up. Like, I understand their tradition, but the fact that it's a television show, I wish they would have played it up. Like, hey, let's throw a little bit more war and action into this, a little more battling.
And you basically have samurai that are wandering around with their lords and stuff, and like
chilling.
They're trying. They they want to do some stuff. So like, at
this
least
is
like,
a clean sword. Like it could be bloody. Yeah. Like this sword shouldn't be this clean.
So yeah, I don't know. I think like I did like the downtimes of like like what interests me is that like different cultures like view on death and everything. Where like Mariko's like was like we live and we die, and then that's sort of how it goes and stuff. And the white dude is like, yeah, that's permanent. Like we don't get to make money after that, and so that's like it's game over. But there's that calmness and like, and so like that was like nice to see, and the ritualistic things of like seppuku and everything, where like it's like here I'm gonna protest something, and this is how I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it, or now it's a punishment, like how the dude at the end where it's like you messed up and you did something wrong, and so now you're gonna like take yourself out honorably.
Oof. Honorably, though.
I don't know,
like, I don't know.
Would you have told him? You know how when he was like begging him, like, can you tell me the end of end of your plan, because like I'm gonna die anyways.
I'm like, nah, it's good.
That's messed up. I was like, oh man, I would have told him. I felt like the secondhand like anxiety. I was like, he's not gonna know.
So are you, after watching the season finale, are you excited for a second season, or are you kind of just like, ah?
I am excited that like we get more of like the storytelling, but it's just like it's like almost like we said earlier, where it's like it's almost like a board game or like a game of chess was played, but you like ended it like right before the game ended. And so now you're like, all right, well, the next season's coming up in a year that is going to show the end of the game and everything. So it's like, it kind of like, it lost his...
It teased you.
Yeah, right? Like, it sucked. I don't know.
The fact there was so much, and we talked about it previously, like there was so much buildup, because we were excited for these last four. We're like, hey, the way 6 ended is looking like these last couple of episodes are going to be crazy. And I was excited, you were excited, and then now to be sitting here after watching these 4 and still being like, but nothing really, like things happened, but nothing really happened that we expected.
So I enjoyed it, but I was deflated when it ended. I was like, okay, well, nice.
Because there was it's just build up. It's like, all right, come on, it's right there. Just jump over, do it.
Now to that point, do you recommend it still to somebody to watch?
That's the tough one, because it feels like there's always a show of the season, and this feels like this was the show of the season, like early spring or like late winter, early spring 2024. Like this was the show that was on, everybody was talking about, everybody's list. So I guess in that frame of mind, I'll be like, yeah, because everybody else already watched it, you might as well watch it as well. But to have watched it and to feel, like you said, deflated after watching the finale, I'm kind of like, nah, I wouldn't make anybody else go through this shit.
It wasn't like watching, it was like watching the last seasons of Game of Thrones. And granted, the show will probably get like compared to Game of Thrones, but this one was not like the first season of Game of Thrones where like everyone's freaking talking about it and all this stuff. Like I brought it up to my coworkers, and like one person was like, "Oh yeah, like we've seen that," and everything. It's like, but it's not like Game of Thrones. Everyone was like people came over to my house to watch it.
Like I think I've heard a couple of people talk about this show, but yeah, nothing Game of Thrones level. I know we compared it to Game of Thrones early on, but I don't think anybody's talked about it, or at least not in my friend group or surroundings have talked about it like people talked about Game of Thrones.
I don't know. I can see like Nicholas not really caring about this. Like
He might have been the one I talked about it with. And he was
maybe.
just like, maybe I gotta
Yeah.
remind him. I gotta ask
So
him when I see him.
like my parents, my mom might like the story, but then my dad would probably be like you, where it's like, hey, there's not like a lot of things going on and stuff, like action wise and stuff.
Yeah, that's what my dad did. My dad started it and was like, nah. He watched like 2 episodes and was like, nah, I'm good. I was like, dude, you couldn't give it a chance? He was like, nah, I was over it. Like, oh my
He's
goodness.
like, I don't have time for all this crap.
Yeah. I could watch some sci-fi show. I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah, I don't know. It was very disappointing for us, I think. I think just kind of
Yeah.
having all that build up and then it leads to sort of nothing where it's like, oh, yeah, okay. Like,
They
you're just
pulled a
going to move
boat out the
into.
water.
Yeah.
What
Just,
the fuck?
I know, right?
You pulled a boat out the water to end this episode. Like, this is your season finale, and you pulled a boat out the water.
That was the magical time.
Like,
I don't know, but
kudos.
I'm excited for the next show that we're watching, and because
I'm excited for I'm really excited actually.
We'll see how that goes and everything, and whether or not it kind of holds
Yeah.
up, and whether or not I think that one is probably like the show of the summer. Like
Yeah, I think that's
very,
like the spring summer show.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a very like not. Someone probably thought like, no, that's not going to be the show of the summer, but then it was like, oh
it
crap,
is.
Amazon did it.
Yes.
So yeah,
Amazon's on a run with shows too. The Boys,
Jeff Bezos
Gen
doesn't
V.
even like freaking like run the company, but
He doesn't
he's
even
like
know
still
what TV
racking
is.
in money.
Yeah, he doesn't know what TV is. He's like, huh? I have a
He's looking at
Prime
space
Video.
and he's
What?
like, I'm making money.
Yeah.
He has enough money to like pile it up, and then he's in space, which is sitting on top of
Wee! Just jumps off of it. Wee! I'm thinking about Mars. You guys are thinking about this TV show about the apocalypse. Like, I'm not worried about that.
I'm the one that survives the apocalypse.
Exactly. I am that robot.
All right. Well, let us know. Let us know in the comments if you watched Shogun, if you enjoyed the ending, if you thought it was kind of like, all right, well, like that's a good ending for season 2 and everything. So let us know if you liked it, disliked it in the comments below. And please like and subscribe to Saturday Night Popcorn for more TV dinners like this one.